attacks. And
Thank you, sir. Please enable my share access.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm just doing it, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So thank you, ma'am, for joining with us. And most of the officers are, from the various ministries and departments of central government. Okay, ma'am. So with this a brief introduction, I request you to continue the session on that social engineering attacks. Thank you.
Can you see the screen, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, dear participants. So let us quickly go through the social engineering attacks in this afternoon session. Before getting into the talk, let me go through a couple of websites who are the vendors of firewalls or antivirus packages. So look at this real-time dashboard of cyber threat. Using the data collected by Kaspersky from all its installed devices. So, as you can see here, there are some traffic points originating and the destination points marked out here. So, these are all related to certain intrusion related packets or some vulnerability hacks or certain information like that across the globe, as you can see here. So you can click on any portion of the net of the globe and then find out what exactly is the threat map out there. So this actually tells how many packets are originating from a particular geographical location and how many of them are getting into a particular geographical location. Is my voice clear, sir? Someone has put a message.
No, yes, ma'am. The voice is not clear, ma'am. I think there is some kind of background noise as well as some sound which is appearing. Yeah, 1 minute, sir. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. We
Yeah,
want
I'm trying to figure out. Just give me a
yeah,
second.
maybe if you can use some headphones kind of thing, it will be better.
How is it, sir, now?
Yeah, now it is fine, ma'am. Now it's fine.
Okay, sir. I just closed another application. Maybe it was also sharing a mic.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am. Okay, I think
So
that's the issue.
this is the cyber threat real-time map. Okay, at this point of time, this is the kind of network traffic going across the globe. Okay, you can click on any particular country map on the globe and then find out uh, what are the attack packets, okay, happening at any given point of time. Now consider another vendor other than Kaspersky, so a popular one called Fortinet. Now you can see a lot of arrows emerging out and then reaching out to a particular destination location. And in the box below, you can also see the attacks that are happening, the names of those attacks, the severity of the attack, and the location to which it is targeted to. So this is at this particular moment, whatever is being recorded by Fortinet related devices across the globe. So this is the data collected. Now, these are just two vendors that we are talking about. There are many more vendors, as you're aware. Instead of Kaspersky, many people use many other softwares and a lot of other firewalls, not just Fortinet. So putting all of them together, just imagine how much of malicious traffic is flowing across the globe. Now, coming back to our topic, social engineering. It's an organized process. So it's normally the term used for a broad range of malicious activities accomplished through human interactions. Human interactions in the sense it could be through an email or through a phone call or through an SMS, but somebody intervenes in the process. It uses psychological manipulation to trick users into making security mistakes or giving away sensitive information, which they ought not to do. So broadly classifying, social engineering attacks are either carried out by pure technology or through people by phone calls. So now these technology-based attacks could be computer-based or mobile-based, using email phishing or baiting, Wi-Fi phishing, SMS phishing, QR codes. And through people, the people may impersonate somebody and come to your desk or sit at the console of the server and then create some dummy accounts so that remote programs can log in through. And then by phone calls. Okay, so we'll go through each of them. Email phishing. These are the social engineering attacks that are carried out using emails. Normally, these phishing activities are performed to gather information. What kind of information? It could be what kind of infrastructure the server has got, or the individual system has got, the operating system, the version, what's the latest update, then what are the other softwares that are installed. Okay, what are the versions of those operating systems or any other softwares. So to collect information like that, and also information about the geographical location, the IP address of the machine, maybe the MAC IDs, could be any identifiable information. Then baiting is a technique used to embed a known vulnerability and create a backdoor. And thereby the attacker can now connect through this backdoor to the particular system. So normally this is done through USB sticks and the CDs. So once you insert a CD, which has some malicious software, that gets installed or that starts running and then creates a backdoor and then can connect to the attacker's server and then perform whatever activity that malicious software was written for. Normally, these phishing activities or baiting activities, when they install some softwares into our systems, they try to exploit vulnerabilities. Say, for example, our operating systems are not up to date, or we are using some pirated versions. Then they may have some vulnerabilities which are normally exploited by these attackers through the malwares that get into our system. So the attackers can create a Trojan, so which is again a malicious program, which will provide backdoor access to the system by either using the auto run feature of the CD. You know what auto run feature is? When you insert a CD, it automatically shows you up a menu or starts the movie. So without you starting or double clicking on any icon, once you insert into the drive, it automatically starts running some programs. So using that auto run feature, or whenever a user clicks to open the files inside a drive. Now Wi-Fi phishing. So a fake Wi-Fi network can be set up It could be at the airport or at a public park or a hotel, a restaurant, internet cafe. And then that might have the same SSID as the company name or the park name or the airport name and will have no password. So the user connects directly to the router thinking he is connecting to the airport or the park's Wi-Fi facility. Now everything will be sent in plain text and the attacker will be able to know what information you're trying to send, which website and all that stuff. Social engineering attacks can also be through voice calls, not just emails or not just through CDs and USB sticks. They can be through voice calls. So it's also called as phishing, or in other words, phishing through a voice call. So phishing involves a voice message and it tricks users to leak sensitive information. Sir, if you can play the movie.
Ma'am, parallel session is going on. Can you play it from your side, ma'am?
Yeah, audio is some issue now.
Okay.
Audio is not enabled from your side.
Or please give the narration, ma'am.
Yeah. So here somebody got a phone call and he was asked for a PIN number that he has received. And this person, this gentleman has shared that. And those people use that PIN, that OTP, and have debited some amount from his account. Now the SIM card is changed. Even if he tries to connect to them, he is unable to. Okay, so this is a phishing attack through a phone call. So they have fished out some sensitive information, and that was the OTP in this particular case. So phishing attacks, they also fall under social engineering, and they're all about sending false mails and sending links through SMS, and they appear to come from legitimate sources. And these sources look very close to genuine sources with very minor differences. And victims are normally tricked into sending their personal or sensitive information, and this information is used by attackers for their malicious purposes. Normally, these activities are carried out to know passwords of some admin accounts or important accounts through which they can get into the servers or systems which are holding some sensitive documents. Then account numbers or credit or debit card numbers or PINs, OTPs. And this data directly goes to the attacker's database. You might be surprised to know phishing as a service is becoming popular and phishing economy has started getting industrialized. So that means people can buy phishing kits. They can get licenses for using those softwares. Okay, and those phishing kits normally have some softwares, some tools, some network monitoring tools, and all that stuff for targeting enterprise users. Financial services experience tens of millions of credential stuffing attacks each day in 2020, peaking at $63 million in November 2020. You can see there are, this is a graph of daily credential abuse attempts. Credential abuse attempts, I repeat. Credentials mean login name and passwords. So these were the malicious login attempts in billions, the orange plot. Okay, and only the financial related accounts. So the blue line actually quotes that. And there was a peak, there was a rise in the month of November, December of 2020. And since then, it has been increasing. What is this malicious software about? So we said social engineering attacks are used to gain important information. So through phone calls, they try to get some sensitive information direct from the victim or the user on the other side. But when it comes to tools, softwares that get installed in the machines and carry away some important information to the attacker's machines, malicious softwares are used. So these malicious softwares or malwares, as they're called in short, they do whatever was told by the attacker. What can it do? They can encrypt your data and demand ransom. They may irritate you with a lot of advertisements. They may record your keystrokes, whatever keys you press, that sequence of characters will be collected and they'll be shipped to the attacker. So thereby, uh, that sequence helps them know what are your usernames and passwords or any other sensitive information that you're trying to type. How does it come to your computer? So when you visit a web page and this particular file may get downloaded into your machine, or you may receive an email, and if you click on the attachment, it may get installed in your machine. Or when you inject a USB or any other media, then the file may get transferred to your machine. Or if you're using some website to download any good software, so here the torrent website, for example, is a good software, is a good website. But then the file that you're downloading might have been infected. Using cracked versions of softwares like Windows, they may leave a lot of doors open for attackers and other programs to come and stay in your PC. How do you know there is malware? Normally, when your system gets slowed down, that means CPU is used heavily, or the system may hang up and may not respond to any mouse click or any command. You may feel like the system is frozen, or there might be some strange icons appearing on the desktop. There might be some strange files in the folders. There might be some encrypted files suddenly, uh, you start noticing, or some files may have been deleted. So these are some of the symptoms. So what are they called? So viruses, worms, trojans, ransomware, spyware, adware, botnet, all these are malicious softwares. So there are lots of different types of malwares available, with some more harmful than others. It said that 230,000 new malware samples are produced every day, and each strain has its own individual way of infecting and damaging computers. So one such example is WannaCry ransomware, which has affected around 200,000 victims in 150 countries, as per the studies published. So this WannaCry is like, it encrypts your files on the hard disk, and then the screen is frozen and a flash message says that you need to send some money to the prescribed address, and then they will send you the decryption key like this. You can see here at the bottom. send $300 worth of Bitcoin to this address, and the address is given out here. And you're all aware, this Bitcoins, the transactions, they're anonymous. Okay, and look, you have a message here, oops, your files have been encrypted. Right? So all your documents, photos, videos, databases, all your files, they're not accessible because they have been encrypted. Right? So if you want to decrypt, get the key by paying $300 as per this particular message. And the time is also, payment will be raised on so and so, time left is this much, your files will be lost on, you can see the left side boxes. So how do you come out of this challenge? Like, use antivirus softwares and keep them up to date. So let me share with you one. Just a second. Yeah. Hope you can see the screen. And let me take you to virus total. And let me show you how to check whether a given piece of software that got downloaded into your machine relates to malware or is a genuine software that you're trying to load. So I have here the ID or hash code of the WannaCry software, malicious software, malware. And I have typed here the code. And this virustotal.com website helps you in finding out whether that code, that ID relates to malware or not. Look here, 60 security vendors have flagged this file as malicious. So Alibaba, then Fortinet, Kaspersky, Palo Alto, Bitdefender, McAfee, all these people have marked it as ransomware, Trojan, and WannaCry. Okay, and so these are the different IDs. Just like we have an Aadhaar ID, PAN card, PAN ID, and voter ID. This particular piece of software, the WannaCry software, has got different IDs generated through different algorithms, MD5, SHA-1, SHA-256. These are different algorithms which have generated unique IDs in their context. So any software for that matter, if it is malicious, it will have one of these kinds of IDs. So WannaCry software has got these IDs. So the one we typed is the SHA-256 ID. We checked with this. Okay. So this has led to the identity of the malicious software. And what else? You can also upload a file. Say, for example, I have downloaded one malicious software to demonstrate to you. Okay, and the system, the VirusTotal system, it is trying to show you that the file is, again, a Trojan of type emotet. Okay, so again, 57 security vendors have flagged this file as malicious. You upload any other file, it may say it's clean, it's genuine. Not just this, you can also check the URLs. So you can type any URL and then I'm typing some random website. And 3 security vendors have flagged this URL as malicious. So this is how you can find out whether a website is genuine or not. Whether it's trying to get some information from your system or is trying to download some files or not. Similarly, if you type something like google.com, so this says it's clean. No security vendors flag this URL as malicious. So you can like this check any file, any URL, or if the ID is given, even whether it is genuine or not. So what if your document, a Word document or PDF document is very sensitive? You don't want to upload it to virustotal.com because it gets added to the database. So the best thing is to make use of some software called hash calculator. You can use any hash calculator, download it into your system, upload this file, okay, your file, because this software is now installed in your own system. You can now calculate the hash and then feed it to the virus total like what I did in the beginning. Okay, so you can use some program like hashcalc, use some SHA-256, select one of the hash algorithms and generate the hash, then paste it, and then load it to virustotal.com. So there you need not share your document as it is with VirusTotal. You're only sharing the hash code of it. Okay. Yeah. So let us come back to our presentation. So this is how you can check whether it is malware or not. What is the impact of malware? What if it gets into an enterprise network or gets into an individual system? Sony Pictures hack is the best example. So in 2014, a hacker group which identified itself by the name Guardians of Peace leaked the release of confidential data from the film studio Sony Pictures. And the data included personal information about Sony Pictures employees and their families, emails between employees, information about executive salaries at the company, copies of the then unreleased Sony films, plans for future Sony films, scripts for certain films, and lots of other information. And not just that, they also employed a variant of a malware called Shamoon Viper to erase the data that is there in the Sony's computer infrastructure. Just imagine, leaking of data is one aspect of it, and erasing the whole data is just the end of it. So during the hack, the group demanded that Sony withdraw its then upcoming film, The Interview, a comedy about a plot to assassinate their North Korean leader. And they also threatened terrorist attacks at movie theaters that were supposed to screen the film. And then many cinema theaters opted not to screen. And so Sony had to, digitally release it the next day. Next is the LinkedIn hack, which is very popular. So this information I collected from Wikipedia, and hopefully this is all right because it is still existing. So in 2012, so LinkedIn was hacked and passwords of nearly 6.5 million user accounts were stolen. And later on in 2016, LinkedIn discovered an additional 100 million email addresses and hashed passwords that claim to be additional data from the same 2012 breach. Now, you can see the list of user IDs and passwords allegedly sourced from cyber attack in 2012. They are put on sale. This is a news item which appeared later on. Then Netflix email scam. So hackers have sent an email to Netflix subscribers, 110 million subscribers got the email, and they were asked to furnish the credit card details. And just imagine, even if 1% of these 110 million people return back with their credit card details, their job is done. But Netflix has not sent the mail. But Netflix subscribers, they got affected by it. So these hackers could somehow get hold of email addresses of all Netflix subscribers. There's a WannaCry attack I was just showing you on Virus Total. That's a ransomware because money was demanded. There are other notable breaches. So something like Ukraine power cut. There is a cyber attack. So the power grid went down because the systems that were controlling the switching on and off and load balancing, they were somehow injected with malware, and the whole capital city was left without power. It was said that 225,000 people they got affected because of this blackout. Similarly, there is a lot of media reports appearing every now and then in our country also. And this is one interesting ransomware attack which happened almost, a few months ago. So on May 7th, 2021, Colonial Pipeline, an American oil pipeline system that originates in Houston, Texas, and carries gasoline and jet fuel mainly to the southeastern United States, suffered a ransomware cyber attack that impacted computerized equipment managing the pipeline. In response, Colonial Pipeline Company halted all of the pipeline's operations to contain the attack. With the assistance of FBI, Colonial Pipeline paid the requested ransom, which was 75 bitcoins or $4.4 million within several hours after the attack. The hackers then sent Colonial Pipeline a software application to restore the network, but it operated very slowly. Whatever, there was a ransomware attack reported out there. Then even stock exchanges, they are not spared. Even media has reported that there were several phishing mails sent to government officials in our country too. So one typical case is this. But then it is said that NIC could alert all the concerned officers not to click on any attachments, and so it went on safe. Yeah, the file that I uploaded to virustotal.com, which was an emoted Trojan. Okay, so that is the world's most dangerous malware. And yeah, how do the attackers carry out all these attacks? So there are a lot of websites, like for example, Grabify.link. Okay, so they create a URL. Now they send you through SMS. It looks like very genuine URL. And when you click on it, you can get information about the IP address and lot of other stuff. So this is normally used to track. Okay? So enter a URL that you want Grabify to track, and lots of information can be obtained about the machine, the device. It could be a mobile phone, it could be. So if I create a URL now and post it in the chat box, and if you click on it, I can know your geographical location and your IP address And using certain other softwares, I can know what operating system you are using, which version. So if that version is not up to date, I can plan an attack by sending you an SMS, making you download some software which can exploit vulnerability of that software that is not up to date. When sending fake mails, uh, so I want one of you to type your mail ID in the chat box. Anyone? So I'm not doing anything to your mail ID. I'll just use that mail ID to send a mail to myself. Yes, please. Type in the chat box.
Yeah, they have typed it, ma'am. I think two people have typed
I
it.
can't
Anonymity
see
and
that.
Jagrati.
Where is that? I could not see.
In the
Maybe,
chart area, it is there, ma'am. Chart area. Chart. Bottom, ma'am.
yeah, I'm just having Mr. Uday's message. It's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Then I'll do one thing, ma'am. I'll just
Yeah,
sending
you
it to you.
please post it. So Mr. Mohit Kumar has sent it. Now,
I just sent it to you, ma'am. Just check it.
yeah, I'm using Mr. Mohit's thing. So I think it is government one. I'll use the Gmail one.
Yeah,
Then
I
that
have
can be
forwarded
used.
two emails. I have forwarded two, ma'am. Two
Sure,
emails to you.
sure.
Not able to see your screen, madam.
Yeah, I'm just sending it. I'll show you.
Okay, fine.
So I used Jagrati Khanwalkar's mail ID. I sent a mail. Okay, you can see here. Is this mail the same? Exactly, it's the same. And Jagrati ji, have you sent me any email? No, right? But yes, in your name, I could send an email to my account itself. You can check this. Okay. And yeah, so I have sent a link to myself also. To click here, I have just given a local IP address. If I have a domain name, if I have a fake website with hosted, I can put that link over here. So, but I'll also show you how to actually use this. Okay, so now if I want to check whether this mail is originally sent by the particular user or somebody else has spoofed that mail. So you can click on show original, clicking on those three dots as I did, and then check for software. So this SPF is sender policy. Okay. So now that sender policy has not complied with by Google servers. So Google has finally found out that uh, this mail ID's sending server address and the mail ID and the mail's sending original address, they're not matching with each other. So they said that condition has failed. So the status is failed. So now this is a spoof mail. So now my account, I can now know that this mail was not sent by the said person, but it was sent by somebody else. Okay, so that is how you can check. You can click on these three dots and then you can perform report phishing or report something like that. Okay. So this is about how people send fake mails. Now, like Netflix has sent a fake mail in the name of Netflix, and now people started clicking on the link. They went to a website and filled the sensitive information, giving out their credit card information. Now, that goes directly to the attacker's database. Like, for example, I have shown you a mail and I have given you some IP address, right? So, but then assume I click on that IP address, right? So the IP address was 192.168.2.7. So this was the IP address that I got in the mail. So if I know Jagrati ji, and if the mail is supposed to be from her, I would trust the link that she sends. So what would I do? I would definitely click on it to really know what it is. So now I'm asked to enter my mail ID. So say QWSA something at gmail.com. Say this is my email ID and my password is some 45678 45678. And if I click on sign in, now look at this. Look at this. I'm coming to the actual google.com, but otherwise I was with some other URL name. Okay, some other website name. And I didn't have that lock symbol, right? But if you have the lock symbol, that means, yeah, the connection is secure. Means some encryption and the things are happening. And in some cases, the certificate is verified. Okay. So now, what happens if I click on such links and then provide my login and passwords? So look here, the email, okay, and the password, they go to the attacker's machine. So I have in my educational demonstration opened up a program, a tool to read whatever data is being fed to my 192.168.2.7 website. So if somebody clicks on it and feeds some information, okay, I'll get it directly to my console on the attacker's machine, right? But what I did out here is like you can see here, there is no log symbol and the website name is also not looking genuine. And this is looking like an exact replica of Google page. So there are a lot of tools to clone web pages. It could be a Facebook page, it could be an SBI or any banking page. It could be your own organization's page. So now looking at the front end, you can directly, because you're very familiar with this kind of a page, you would directly feed your login name and password. Just imagine an IT administrator logs in. If this looks like an exact replica of their office page, if he logs in with a main administrator privileged account, those credentials go to the attacker's page. Now the attackers can directly log into the systems from their own place. Okay, so this is one way of, catching hold of usernames and passwords. So one is through phone calls, the other is through sending links like this through emails or SMSs, then displaying then a clone page of any website with which that victim is having an account with, and then carrying away the credentials. Now, people also use Google Docking to actually gain more information about the individual or about the organizations. Like, for example, it is a specialized search. It's not something very complicated. It's quite a simple technique. Like, for instance, so I'm just typing some specialized search command. And look, I said password. Okay, and file type is, so I want to search for passwords, files, and the file should be an Excel sheet. Now look, there are so many websites. There are so many websites that are showing me Excel files, some colleges' websites. So it could be, they wanted to distribute something to their employees or students, so they posted on the website. And now everybody outside is able to gain access to it, right? Let us not click on the links. We're just happy with whatever Google gives us. It's not correct to look into those files. Okay, so next. So this is like Google Docking. We make use of some specialized text, and like, for instance, so I'm saying in the website cdat.gov.in, whenever cybersecurity text appears, you display those links. Just a second. So whenever in the URL there is some text like cybersecurity, and in the title there is something like CDAT, those links will appear. So there's a focus search, a refined search. So like this, people can collect information about a person or about a particular entity in the particular website. So this about Google Docking. Then normally people post photos in the websites or on social media sites. So there is something called as EXIF data, which helps one know at what geolocation this photograph was taken, and lots of such important stuff. Okay, you post a photograph of a car, newly purchased car, and you take a photo and put it on the social media. People can actually find out where that car is parked as of now. Then, yeah, a lot of videos have deep fakes. Let me show you that. Just a second. I'll share my screen for a while. You can see both the screens, right? So I'm just calibrating. So here I am, and I can actually, so if I'm talking, you can see that the image with which I'm trying to deepfake. So this is an AI-based tool, which I have downloaded from the internet, and it is accessible to everyone. So yeah, anyone, okay, the images and videos can be created. So if I'm just nodding my head, so the image also nods. Okay, so here you go. Anyone, right? So this is an example of a deepfake. Hope you could see both the screens. Similarly, you have what is called as Google hacking database, from which the attackers can actually load lots of, get to know lots of information about usernames, passwords, the camera feeds, surveillance camera feeds from elsewhere for which the settings are not done, or WhatsApp dumps. Lots of stuff can be known from the Google hacking database. So just type in Google search engine, Google hacking database, and you'll get that page, and you perform the appropriate search, and you can get loads of information. So the attackers have lots of ways to gather information about organizations, about individuals. Right? Okay. Next, there are what are called as security breaches. So it's an incident that results in an unauthorized access of data, applications, services, networks, and or devices by bypassing their underlying security mechanisms. Let me show you this. So just like Google search engine is used for searching about places or about people or establishments, organizations, this search engine is a data breach search engine. Whenever any website is hacked, whenever the database of in that website is breached, that database is all dumped here. So now you can see here, how does this NAS base work? It indexes information from websites that have been hacked and had their database leaked. And our users have access to search for their emails, names, usernames, IP addresses, phones, password hashes, and much more. We display every result in full as they were provided to us, with only occasional edits to remove information that we are legally prohibited from storing. Okay, and they also say how, for the question, how do you acquire this hacked data? So they say we work with well-established security researchers who frequently provide access to both privately circulating and publicly available website databases. We also actively monitor a large number of public and dark web forums and import any confirmed data leaks from those sources on a daily basis, is what they say. Is this legal? So they say if the information is there in a hand, in the hands of a few people who are not related to that company, that means anyone outside can also have access to it. So then to check if you are there in any website which is already hacked, and if your email ID and hash password is available, so you can just type your mail ID or phone number here. So like you must have subscribed to any flight booking website, or you must have subscribed to any e-commerce website for purchases. Okay, so if that website is hacked, your email and password is also there in the database search engine, data breach search engine. Look, I got information, good news, no Panage found. Now just check yours and then find out if there is any breached account in any website. So just visit that website, change your password immediately. If you're not using that account anymore, just delete your account from there, right? So the thing is, like when you find your email ID in any such website, it's better to change passwords of all other accounts which have the same password. Sometimes many people are used to using the same password across multiple websites because we can't remember all the websites as they are. Like, so people put a common password for many websites. So it's better to change passwords of all those websites as well if you find one of these available. Now I would like to know if anyone has already tested and have found their email IDs found. Anyone? Please type in the chat. And so a lot of other information is available through zoneh.com, which announces websites that are defaced. So now at this point of time, if some website is defaced, that information is available in zoneh.com. So attackers can know that this website is vulnerable and can be exploited, right? So HTTrack is another tool which can be used to analyze the whole website. And SMS phishing through SMSs. It's also called as smishing. It's about sending an SMS with a fake link or printing a wrong QR code so that your payment goes to a wrong destination. So a message like this can be crafted and a link can be sent, and you know what happens when you click on this link. You have seen it for the Google username and password that I have just shown you. How are these messages sent? So there are a lot of websites like this, spoofmytext.com. There are many more. I'm just showing you one example to just tell you how this service is spreading. So there is from phone number, recipient phone number, the date and time when it should go, and then the spoof text message. So your KYC has been updated, get cashback, provide bank details, right? So, and you may say SBI or any bank for that matter. And then I'm not a robot, spoof text, that's it. There are licenses that can be purchased for sending this. So there's one way. Now, what if on the mobile you click such an SMS? Okay, so if it is a cloned Facebook page, your email password will be stolen, like what we have seen just before. Or you can see this when you click on that link. Okay, you'll be taken to a website and then you'll be asked to click on some link, and then that link may download an app. So here there's an educational purpose demo wherein we have set up this laptop as an attacker's machine and a mobile phone. And now when we create a malicious mobile application, mobile app, okay, some code is injected into it to exploit some vulnerability in the mobile phone. And when the app gets downloaded in the mobile device, okay, the mobile device is able to now make a connection with the attacker server, and the attacker server can now get the dumps of call logs or SMS dumps, okay, or do any other kind of an action permitted through that connection. So as you can see here, the mobile app, the APK file is downloaded and is run, and the connection is getting established with the attacker's machine. And now dump SMS command is able to retrieve 757 SMS messages, and another command for call log has created a text file of all the calls that are made. Okay, and the ringer mode is set to vibrant mode. And you can also send SMSs from that phone to somebody else. So now when you look at the attacker's machine, you get all the call logs and SMS dumps. So you can just open any SMS and check the contents. Okay, so this is one. So like this, there are a lot of tools available. I have just given you demonstrations meant for educational purpose, but there are many sophisticated tools available which the attackers normally use. So tools for anonymity and security, we have a few suggestions collected from different websites and different avenues. So Proton Mail, so like Gmail, we have one which offers anonymity. Then Epic browser, like our Chrome or Edge. Okay, so this is a browser which offers you privacy. Then DuckDuckGo, like Google search engine, it's a search engine and it offers privacy, so it doesn't track your website browsers and all that stuff. Like WhatsApp, we have Signal, and many of you must be familiar with this. So this offers anonymity and privacy. And if you're supposed to subscribe to any website for want of a song, or it's just one-time subscription, then go for 10minutemail.com, which you can discard after your transaction is done with a particular website, so that your traces are not left with that website. So there are other important websites which I would like to share with you. So one is, when you see some video getting viral, you can go and visit the stopncii.org. Okay, stop non-consensual intimate image abuse. So you can help somebody with filing a case, and then see that. So what is done is that image, that video, the hash of it is taken, and that hash is shared with all the companies that are actually hosting that video. So those companies can search the video through that hash ID and then delete it. Then if you see that by mistake you have somehow got your account compromised, you can go to facebook.com/hacked, visit this link, and then report it out here. And we have cybercrime.gov.in portal, National Cybercrime Reporting Portal, where you can also get lots of information, file complaints, and that stuff here. Then we have National Consumer Helpline, so NCH. So this is consumerhelpline.gov.in. So this helps you in, so if you have any grievances, so there is some facility over here. Okay, if you have purchased a product online and if you wish to, report it to somebody, so this is the one of the facilities. Then for women, you have something called as ncw.nic.in, National Commission for Women. And so there is some information out here. So please go through as we are running out of time, and I'm just giving you this information so that you can explore it further. And how to stop these malwares from getting into your machines? Use any antivirus software. So all antivirus softwares are the same. Only thing is, it all depends on the kinds of websites that you visit and the kinds of applications that you keep downloading into your devices. So go for any antivirus software, but keep in mind that you should keep them up to date, because every day there are loads of malware versions, variants getting released. So their signatures, their IDs have to be up to date in your database, antivirus software database. So keep them up to date. Be cautious when you're clicking on any links which are given in the emails. So the email may look like from a genuine source, but when you look at the links, you can find out, you can mostly make out whether it's genuine or not. So here, for example, Bank of ARNERICA is the word. When you quickly scan through, it looks like America, but it's not. I have just shared with you very little information about security, like credential stuffing in brief and phishing activities, at a very low level. You can see there are a lot of other attacks, and what we touched is very small. And our website, which belongs to Information Security Education Awareness Program, for which CDAC is looking at the management of the project. So this website is provided for children, students, women, family, police, teachers, employees, and all the systems or network administrators. And they also have a lot of programs running every now and then. You may ask your people, and you may also visit this. Thank you so much. So if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer, but I think I have crossed time.
All right, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I think there are a few questions, ma'am. We will just take it up, some of these questions. And
Sure, sir.
sir, ma'am, like if you have any questions, kindly keep it in the chat area. In the meantime, I will take it up these questions. Ma'am, nowadays, because of the frequent Windows updates, system freezes. How to differentiate it with a malware attack?
System gets slowed down, you mean to say?
Yes, ma'am. I think what he says is like since the Windows updations they are getting, so most of the times their systems are getting freezed, like it's slow down kind of thing. So how to differentiate with the malware attack or a Windows update or whatever? That.
So if you're having an antivirus software, it will take care of whenever you're trying to update and some wrong program is getting into, it will give you an alert.
Okay, ma'am. And how to get the checksum of malware?
Checksum of malware. You have a Hashcalc, I have shown you one of the websites.
I think they were asking in addition to that, ma'am, kindly repeat the hash calc.
Okay. You can download this into your machine. That is one. And other way. So I'm because I should show it to you. So I'm just showing an online hash calculator. Okay, so if I have so this is a limited one because this is online. You just need to browse a file and then upload that file out here. So you can find out the hash of it. That's as simple as that. You can browse a file, you can upload it here, and then you can generate the hash. So you can select the hash required. You want to have MD2, MD4, MD5, SHA-1, SHA-256, your choice. You select one and then you create the checksum, that's it. Or the other way is, if you're good at using the command line terminal, you can also use something like OpenSSL, and you can use the commands right away at the console also. Okay, got it. So the other way is, if you don't want to upload it onto the internet, you can use a hash calculator. You can download it, and then you want me to download and show? Oh, this Windows. Just a second.
Okay, ma'am. In the meantime, if after running, he has found, I think, two times his email ID was compromised, ma'am. So what he has to do?
Which one, sir?
His email ID was compromised 2 times. So what is the thing he has to do, ma'am, right now?
You have to either, if you're not using that account, you can delete that, and you can delete that account from that website, or change the password if you're still using it, and set up two-factor authentication if it is there.
Okay, ma'am. Is there any authority that can help if someone's data get attacked by the ransom, and the attacker is asking for the ransom?
I think so.
Yeah, you can approach the cybercrime.go.in, sir, and you can report there. If there is a possibility, they may help you out. Otherwise, it is difficult.
For paying the ransom, I don't think so, sir.
A ransomware they can't do, but if there is any possibility, certain also you can approach.
Yeah.
Okay, they can at least guide you. Of course, they won't pay you ransom on your behalf to get it relieved, the data relieved kind of thing. Okay, ma'am. So that's it as of now, ma'am. If there are any other questions, we will take it up, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful and enlightening session on the malware as well as social engineering attacks. So I think all the participants might have been got a fair idea on these two aspects, right? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So shall we move to the next session? Sir, ma'am, can you please say yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was just, yeah. So, sir, ma'am, shall we move? Shall we move to the next session? Please say yes or no in the chat area. Yes, okay. Of course, there won't be any breaks kind of thing. Like we will be, moving to the next session. So of course, like we were, already delayed by 20 minutes. If the session goes beyond 4:30, is it fine? If the session goes beyond 4:30, will it be okay? Shall we continue or we have to stop? Please say yes or no. Accordingly, we will do that. Okay, we were receiving only few responses. I wanted responses from everyone, please. No issues, sir. Very good. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So with these assets, like we will continue the session beyond 4:30. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, in this particular session, like we are going to discuss on social networking security and security financial transactions. I think many of you are also asking like what is the feedback assessment and all. So those aspects also I will discuss with you. Once the session is over, I will guide you how to join in our e-learning course and how to continue our education in this cyber security domain. So that way we will that one also we will discuss, and assessment aspects also I'm going to discuss with all of you. Okay, so now we will discuss about this social networking. So in this social networking, I think many of you people might be knowing like what we intended to discuss under the social networking. But the thing is, like I won't be discussing all these critical things. I'll just discuss what are the privacy and security settings in the social networking apps. Okay, so those aspects we are going to discuss. So there is a slight difference between social media and social networking. In most of the time, the social media is a one-way communication, but whereas the social networking is a two-way communication. That's only the social networking. It is a one-way communication, one to many, many to one, bidirectional, multi-directional, all directions it happens in the social networking front. So that is the basic difference between the social media and social networking. So this is the social networking. Anyone can have any n number of connections. Anyone can talk any n number of people who are having the similar personal interests, career interests, and backgrounds and real life connections. And for example, I think many of the people might be there. If at all if you belongs to the CISO, like you will be having the CISO groups where you will be contributing and where you will be learning. And there are some people who are belongs to finance, so they will be discussing in the particular group related to those things. And there are some people like wanted to be in the entertainment groups, so they will be discussing whole lot of things which are related to the entertainment kind of thing. So like that you have n number of groups, n number of people, you can be in any n number of groups so that you can participate and get benefit, gain lot of knowledge with respect to the social with respect to the various aspects under social networking components. Okay, so what are the advantages? Like what are the advantages of these social networking platforms? We can meet the people on online across the world. Do you think internet have any boundaries? Can you please say yes or no, Mohammed sir, in the chat area? Do you think internet has any boundaries? No boundaries. Okay, no boundaries. Okay. Okay, all right, thank you. So in the meantime, in the same way, social networking is also no boundaries. You can get in touch with n number of people across the world. There are no people who are going to stop you. But only thing is like unless and until you follow some of the safety and security measures, there are always some issues with respect to anything. If you go beyond anything excess, if you are continuously using the mobile phone night, morning, office area, and everywhere, and you will be addicted to that mobile. So that is called a mobile addiction, and that is nowadays that is called as a nomophobia. Okay, that is called nomophobia. See, there are some people who are always on the mobile. So before they sleep also, they will see the mobile and they will go to the sleep. Once they get up, immediately they will open the mobile and they will see like, oh my God, something is happening in the world. Nothing is going to happen if you are not seeing any messages. Okay, so that is the kind of situation. But there are some people who are always keep the mobile along with them. Okay, so that is called nomophobia. Like, the moment you get up in the morning, immediately you will go and check the messages, like what kind of messages you got and all the things. Earlier, like, you used to do something, but nowadays that entire tradition has got changed. The moment you got up, immediately you'll go and open the mobile. Okay, so that's the kind of scenario where we are in. So like that, like, so most of the times you will be checking either any of the social media platforms, what is happening, what messages you got and all such kind of things. Okay, so meeting the people on online across the world, the making friendship with the people who are very far away, right? So that is one advantage. And you can build your profile. Okay, you have not met your friends today, you met one friend, and like that, like, you can build your profile and you can have n number of people. And at the same time, by posting a single post, in one fine post in any social media platform, over the night you will become a celebrity. Okay, and you can build your profile, if you are there in a social media platforms, if at all, if you are running any group kind of thing, and you will be known to the many number of people. Okay, this XYZ person is doing XYZ things. So that, like, like that, like, you can build your profile over the period of time. And you can also represent yourself. You can also tell, like, what is that you wanted to communicate with that regard, right? So nowadays the government is also putting all the policies and the documents and everything. So the government is also asking, so now you can represent yourself. So this is what my identity, this is what missing in the document, this has to be added as part of the document. So such kind of contribution you can always make it. So you can represent yourself, and if that post is good, and immediately you will be getting some kind of acknowledgement and recognitions, right? So there you might be seen in recent times, the 13-year, 14-year, 11-year people kind of thing, they're identifying the vulnerabilities. Morning you will learn like what is a vulnerability. In Windows 10, they found some vulnerability, and immediately that person was highly acknowledged. Immediately the person was highly acknowledged, and he was absorbed into the company. So that's the kind of acknowledgement, or that's the kind of advantage you will be getting. All right, so that is how things can happen in the social networking platform. And you can exchange everything, like, you can exchange your interests, you can participate in the group discussions, all those things, current affairs, sports, business, whatnot, all those things you can share. And you can share your data, files, videos, music, photos. Are we doing all these things by using any of your social media platforms? Please say yes or no. Are we doing or not? I wanted some responses from all of you. Yes, yes, yes. Any other? Okay, okay, all right, yes, sir. So most of us are doing, somewhere or other, like, without that, like, because of the pandemic, or otherwise also we were in the media platforms and we use all the platforms. Thank you, sir, ma'am, for your response. Okay, so these are the some uses of the social networking, but otherwise there are some more things. Socializing platforms. We have socializing platforms like Facebook, WhatsApp, etc. And career business opportunities, like, if someone wanted, like, you have this specialization skills and all that things, as I told you, like self representation and profile building. So these are the LinkedIn and Naukri meetup and all these things, where you can keep your profile, so that if you have that expertise, you will be recognized, you will be called for those XYZ kind of things. Okay, online matchmaking kind of thing, shadi and all those things are there. You can use it for those purposes also. And online shopping websites, like, there are so many e-commerce websites are there you will be purchasing, and you have your freedom to talk about the product which you have purchased, right? You have purchased some XYZ product, and you can make your representation over there. So this product is good or bad. Okay, so that way, like, you are that way you are telling your things. So those things may be useful or may not be useful for other people. If some people are found the same thing, they will say they will promote further, and they will agree with those things. So these are the kind of things which are happening in the social media, social networking platforms. Okay, these are the different types of social networking platforms. In a given minute of time, these are the number of transactions which are happening, which is old but not so old. It is only 1.5 month old. So the reason why I'm showing it to you is in a given minute of time, this many number of transactions or transactions are happening in a given minute of time. Okay, you can just see like in a given minute of time, just imagine 500 hours of content was got uploaded across the world. 500 hours of content are uploaded. Just imagine if you want to produce 1 minute of content, how much struggle you make. So that way, like if it is 500 hours in a minute, just imagine how much of content was getting uploaded into these platforms. Like that, all the platforms, there are so many things are happening. You can just have a look at these things. And this is one angle. The other angle is the number of cyber crimes are also getting increased. So these are the different types of cyber crimes which are happening in the digital world, on the pretext of supplying food, medicine, oxygen, other essentials, and luring the people on online transactions and hacking their accounts. Just now we have seen, and fake social media profiles were got created, and people are blackmailed, or money was grabbed on his behalf, from his friends and relatives, and from his friends and relatives. And of course, like every all the time it is there, but nowadays this was going in very high mode. Pornographic material was got created of the people, of the users, and they were blackmailed, and they started luring the money. So these are the varieties of cyber crimes which are happening in the digital world. So these are the cyber crimes which are reported across the country in various states in last one and a half year. Right, we always think we are not against any of these platforms, we are just giving an example. Okay, so that platform is costing only 499 rupees, but actually, like, it is it is consuming a lot of your time. And the cool drinks, like if you are drinking, it is causing health, if there are some issues, if so. And if it is a social media, it is not free. People are social media platforms are free, but it is costing your focus, right? When you are when you are in office, you are supposed to do something. In the meantime, you got a notification, you immediately open that message, and you seen that entire mood of entire, like whatever the thing you wanted to do it, that entire thing will go off, right? So that way, like the mood changes, and it will impact on your professional life as well as on personal life when it is a profession. And if it is a students, and if any bullying kind of happens, and they will be isolated, and they can many of these students may not share like what was happening. So that kind of issues are also which we are facing in the social media platforms. And one golden management quote is, when something is free, you are the product. All right. If someone is offering something at free, at something free, then we are going to be the free of cost. All right. I think you might have been seeing some of the messages which are got circulated in the WhatsApp. Okay, so Amazon is giving the free gifts to on the occasion of Valentine's Day, right? Many of the people might have been got the messages. Did anyone got such messages? Amazon is giving some kind of things. Last year, the Taj hotels are giving hotels, and accommodation, so many things. Did anyone got any free gift messages on the occasion of this Valentine's Day? Yes, I think some of the people might have been received some of the messages. Yes, yes, such messages appear. It is very clear, and we have released some advisories kind of thing. So if at all, if you are clicking, we don't know whether the malware is there, Trojan is there, something, some kind of things are there. Yes, okay. And if at all, if you are clicking, and if you are providing some kind of information, and we are become the product for those guys. Okay, so please be careful. So prevention is better than cure. And during the COVID-19, how you are regularly washing your hands, wearing the mask, and taking the preventive measures. Similar way, in the digital world also, you have to take some of the preventive measures where you can safeguard yourself. Okay, from a number of kinds of things. One of the surveys is stating that like 15% of Indian adults are fell victim to the cybercrime over past 12 months. That was the report. Okay, so there are so many other things which are happening, and you can just see J&K cyber police nabs a woman 34 lakhs pension fraud case from Punjab. Okay, so in this particular case, like he is as working as a profession, he's working as a he is an employee, and he wanted to get some kind of pension after his retirement. So that was his requirement. Then he was searching something on the website. During the time, like, he got a call stating that like we are offering some pension schemes, and if you invest this much amount, and we will be getting this kind of pension every month after a year's retirement. So that person has listened that lady. He's listened that lady, and he started investing that money. So he's transferred 34 lakh rupees in 36 consecutive transactions. Later he realized like he was got cheated. Later he was approached the police people, and finally they are able to recover some money, but they are not able to recover the final full amount. Okay, if at all, if you are getting such kind of things, you have to verify. You have to see the authenticity, like to whom you are talking. You are searching something, you got a call, and immediately once you have started discussion and all the things, it may lead some kind of issues. Then you have to verify like what is that exactly. So these kind of frauds which are happening in the digital world, you have to be very careful. Okay, otherwise people are losing a lot of money in the cyber world. Okay, so that is with respect to the kind of crimes which are happening and how people are losing the money. And social networking platforms are heavily used in India. So whenever we are using any of these social media platforms, so these are the kind of details which goes out of our hand. Morning also it was discussed like whenever you are using any of the email platforms kind of thing, like what kind of information they are gathering. So in the similar way, like whenever we are using any of these social media platforms, so whole this lot of information is goes out of your hand. So one survey stated that so 88% people's names are available in a public domain, and 65% of the people's real age is available in the public domain, and 58% is people's email addresses are available, home addresses are available, phone numbers are available, mobile numbers are available, bank account details are also available. So this much percent of details are available in a public platform. So once this kind of information is there, can anyone can nab or can anyone blackmail by using these details? Is it so? Yes or no? If I have your details like your email ID, mobile number, photograph and all the things, can I blackmail? Yes. Jagriti, yes, said like yes. Any other? Any other sirs, ma'am? Navneet Sharma sir said yes. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, yes, yes. So what do we do? So what do we do that? So how do we protect ourselves to safeguard from those things? So there are some risks in the social networking platforms. So what are these risks? Photographs can be taken, altered, and distributed in other websites. In recent times, we have seen number of things. WhatsApp, if once you keep a profile picture, those people are taking that picture. Directly they cannot copy. They are using the screen share, and they're taking the picture and they're using this deep fake, and they're completely manipulating those pictures, and they're blackmailing the people. You can just google it and see like WhatsApp profile picture blackmailing. All right, there are so many incidents which are happening. So once this kind of information is there, once your photographs are there in public platforms, there are chances that it can be altered and blackmailed. Especially all young women and girls should take care in this regard. And the exploitation of the personal information and identity theft. So once this personal information is there, they're started misusing, and they're creating fake documents on their behalf. Right, let me give a small example since this has come. So what happened, these someone has collected this entire information, like his name, his biometrics, his Aadhaar card, his PAN card, and all those details. They've created all these things, and they went for a GST registration, and they have registered the GSTN, and they done a business on that GSTN, okay, on behalf of one person. So later, like the GST has sent a notices to this particular guy. You have done these businesses and you have not you have not paid any GSTN. Then that person has approached the police, and the police people has filed a case against on that issue, and they have started investigating, and they found that some organization, they have created the fake documents, they have taken the GSTN on his behalf, and they have done everything on his behalf. Okay, finally it was found like it was a guilty, like it was a fake document. They have created all these things by using the fake documents. Okay, so that way like things are happening. So we have to be very careful when we are sharing the documents or when we are giving the documents to someone. Okay, and which leads to stalking and social phishing and cyberbullying. Cyberbullying, cyber stalking kind of thing. If the children are there, and if they're addicted, and if they are continuously talking, and if you are not observing, there are chances that people they can go to unwanted issues, and they will be threatened, or they will be started receiving some threatening messages kind of thing. So these things will happen in the social networking platforms. So we have to be very careful. Blackmail, illegal content, age inappropriate content, and exposure to the sexual content. So the reason why I'm saying, like, most of us, like, either we are either all of us, maybe having brothers, sisters, or children. We have, most of the people might have that kind of family, right? When we are having that in a big family, so it is our responsibility to see, like, as an adult, it is our responsibility to see, like, how much time they're spending, and what for they're spending that much amount of time on internet. And if they are facing any such kind of issues, once in a while you have to discuss with our family members, and you have to find out. Otherwise, if at all, if you have started scolding them, they might not be sharing any information, but they will be threatened if some issue has happened. School going children are there now, because online classes there, we might have been given a separate mobiles kind of thing. And if everything goes good, it is well and good. If someone started sending some kind of messages, and if it is leading, and our children may be in, facing may face some kind of issues, if at all, if you are not looking into them on regular intervals. So please observe them, like, when they are using any of these social media and social networking platforms, where they are in. For example, if you, either your boy, either your daughter or a son in a social media platform, you also be in the social media platform. If at all, if you are not having any account, I suggest all of you, if at all, if any of your children are having any social media accounts, you also should be there in the social media account, and you should be there in his or her social media page. Okay, so that you can observe, like, what kind of things which are happening. Okay, so that accordingly, you also behave them as a friend only. You tell them, like, I will be there. You need not to participate, but at least you can observe, like, what is happening on his pages kind of thing. Okay, so that they also will be careful, and they won't accept unnecessary requests kind of thing which are comes, and they won't be get into some kind of issues. Okay, so these are the some of the social networking risks in the media, in the social media platforms. And younger generation tend to be more trusting. So like in the phishing attacks, in especially in the cyber, in the social networking platform, if at all, if you are meeting, if you met some unknown person, and if they become a friend, so initially they will be create kind of a trust. They will ensure that, like, you will be listening, and you will be following those kind of things. And once the trust is built in, and remaining things will start on. Okay, remaining things will start on. So once they build that kind of trust in this platform, immediately they will be moved to the other platform, and from that platform they will be started all these things, whatnot, sharing of photos, videos, calls, and all such kind of things will happen. So these are the some risks. By saying all these things, we are not against to the social media platform. We are just telling these are the kind of things someone should observe, or someone should follow. Okay, so that's only the thing, like, which we wanted to say, like, we are also using, and we are also running all the social media platforms kind of thing. But only thing is, like, we have to take some of the preventive measures when you are in a platform. All right, so this is a example which is not so old. It is happened in 2021 July 11, right? So that boy was cheated more than, he's an engineer. He's not ordinary person. He's a software engineer, got cheated for 57 lakhs in a matrimonial custom duty fraud kind of thing. So this is the similar kind of fraud. This lady lost, here in this case, this boy is only a 27-year-old, and in this case that lady is somewhere around 42-year-old. In both the cases it is happened the same thing, right? In both the cases it is happened the same case, right? So both of them, all these people met in a social media platforms, and they become very good friends, and immediately they moved to the instant platforms, instant messaging platforms, and finally they decided, like, they wanted to get marry each other. Okay, they get marry each other. Up to that end, that is fine. And in the both the sides, some kind of exchanges and all such kind of things are happening. So on one fine day they decided they wanted to go for a marriage. So once they went for they decided they wanted to go for a marriage. Then he said, like, he came to India, and he was stuck up in the customs. And this lady, in this case lady, in other case it is a boy, so they started paying a lot of money towards the customs, GST, whatnot. So they will be, this whole lot of gang is there. So whole lot of gang is operating. So they're receiving one person saying that like they're from customs, other person is stating like they're coming from some kind of GSTN, or whatnot. You know all these things. So that way, like they have transferred somewhere around 71 lakhs and 57 lakh rupees, and finally they realized that like they were got cheated, and they're not able to recover single MP also in both these cases. Okay, so that's the kind of situation which we are in. So we have to be careful. Up to discussion, all such kind of things, it is fine. But the thing is, like, if you are going beyond that, like, you have to be checked before, whether if it is especially in the matrimonial, job frauds, and these cases, you have to be very, very careful, or any investment plans kind of thing. So these things you have to be very, very careful, so that if you are careful, you can protect and safeguard your hard-earned money. Okay. So he is a boy, like he started made some 200 friends. One fine day, he got one fine day he got more than 2 crore rupees from these 200 people, and finally they came to know like he's a cheater. So he was caught and kept behind the bars. Like when something is happening, so we have to report, so that at least if you report them, other police people can safeguard other people, okay, from these fraudsters. Okay, if at all, if the fraudster was caught. So this boy, he's a 9th class boy. He started misusing his classmates' photographs, and he was caught behind, and he was kept behind the bars. Like there are so many things, and these are all some of the cases which are reported in the media, and we also receive a number of calls on our toll-free number, asking for this kind of information. If they are, if the relation is good, and if the credentials are shared, they will be using and they will be operating. And if the relations are different, then these people have started blackmailing either that boy or girl, and there are so many threatenings are happening. And in some of the cases, we have seen like those young girls are went extremes. Okay, so like as we told, like passwords are secure. Like we should not share any passwords, irrespective of the kind of relation, irrespective of the kind of things which are happening. So these are the some things which are happening in the social media platforms. There are some advantages as well as disadvantages are also there. Okay, so most of the people are using these platforms, like WhatsApp. Majorly used platform is WhatsApp in India. Okay, so I thought like we should discuss some of these privacy and security aspects. Are you all ready to do it along with me, the privacy and security aspects of the WhatsApp? If you are ready, please say yes. All right. So if you are ready, if you know that, it is well and good, sir, ma'am. And if you don't know that, try to follow me and try to enable these enable these settings on your respective applications, so that you can at least some kind of things you can safeguard from ourselves. Okay. Let's start this. Okay. Open your WhatsApp account. Go to the three dots. Once you open the WhatsApp application, and you will be getting the first screen. Open that click on the three dots. Once you click on the three dots, you will be getting options called settings. Once you click on the settings, okay, the first option is account, sort, notification, and all those things are there. So click on the settings and click on that account. Once you click on that account, you will be getting all these options. Okay, in the account, the first option is privacy. The moment you click on the privacy, you have seen last scene. If you want to enable, you can enable. If you want to disable, you can disable. The next one is profile photo. The moment you click on the profile photo, you will be getting three options: everyone, my contacts, accept. Okay, which option will you choose? Which option will you choose? Your profile picture, you wanted to keep it with everyone, or you wanted to keep it only with your contacts, or only accept these contacts? Yes, excellent, excellent. Okay, if it is everyone, please try to move it to the my contacts. Thank you, sir, ma'am. Okay, if it is there, everyone, please move to the my contacts. Then done. Okay, that is one thing. And the second option is status. If you click on the status, you will be getting three options: only my contacts, expect, or only share with some people. right? So if it is only my contacts, it's well and good. Okay, so that your status no one can see other than your contacts. The people who are there in your contact list only can see your, see your profile picture as well as status. Okay, because they are there means like at least somewhere or other you will be knowing them. Okay, and don't forget that. So most of the cyber threats and cyber crimes or breaches which are happening, 80% of them, 85% of them are happening through internal sources, but at least this way, like, you can safeguard, if it is only my contacts kind of thing, because only known people will be there, they may not misuse kind of thing. Okay, so that's the kind of belief which we are having. At least profile picture, keep it only my contacts, and the status also keep it only my contacts. And other next option is groups. In the groups also, everyone my contacts except thing. So if it is by default it is with everyone, so if you move it to only my contacts, that will be better option. If you move it to my contacts, that will be better. See, for example, if you keep everyone, anyone can send a mail or anyone can send a message on your WhatsApp. If at all, if you are opening, we don't know whether is it coming with a Trojan or a malware kind of thing. So we have to be careful. If you keep only my contacts, no one can send a WhatsApp message to you. If at all, if they are sending, and you will be getting a notification says that, like, this Jagdish wanted to add into his WhatsApp group. If myself Jagdish wanted to add you into my WhatsApp group, I can send a friend request. I can send a request. If you accept, then only you will be added. If you are not accepting, you can't be added. Okay, if you keep only my contacts, and if you can do these three things, these are the privacy settings: profile picture, my contacts, groups. Are everyone is everyone able to do? Is everyone able to do? Screens are still here. Okay, very good, very good, thank you. And the next option is security. Okay, next option is security. So in the same settings are there, and accounts, and you have seen the privacy, and the security is there. There it is a thumb impression kind of thing, but I won't suggest to use any thumb impression anywhere. Okay, but I suggest you go for this two-step verification. The next third option is two-step verification. The moment you click on the two-step verification, okay, right extreme side you will be getting two-step verification code. So click on that, and choose that and click on enable. Once you enable that, you will be getting this kind of screen. Okay, it is asking to enter your passcode. It is a passcode, so please remember that passcode carefully and enter that passcode. And email is the option. It is not that like you should mandatorily provide. If you want, provide, otherwise leave it. Okay, from there, if you kept that two-step verification, and if you click on done, the two-step verification is done. If someone wanted to open your WhatsApp, they cannot open your WhatsApp. They cannot open your WhatsApp account. Okay, unless and until you provide that key, you provide that passcode, no one can, okay, open this passcode. So this is this is a security setting which was provided by the platform, right? If you want to enable, you can enable, so that you can, if no one can access your WhatsApp account. If at all, if children are using it, children are losing, or like if at all, if sometimes either boyfriend girlfriend sends a messages kind of thing, so that other people, if you don't want to show it to the other people, you can protect your thing. And at the same time, if at all, if you are done any web WhatsApp kind of thing, there also, unless and until you provide this passcode, they cannot do anything. Okay, so these are the privacy and security settings provided these WhatsApp. Okay, so I hope you are able to do it. If at all, if you are not done earlier, at least you might have been done after listening this listening these session. Okay, so is it clear? Is WhatsApp security is clear with everyone? All right. Okay, there is one more option in the WhatsApp. See, you will be in a number of groups. You will be getting a lot of media, like good morning, good night messages, videos, and all such kind of things. Immediately those messages will come, and it will be immediately those messages will come, and it will be occupy your phone memory. To avoid that, either group or individual messages, you can just click on that group and click on the group info. Once you click on the group info, you will be getting this option called media visibility. Okay, click on that media visibility. There are three options: default yes, default yes, yes, no. Okay, whatever the media, if it is default yes means like whatever the media you are getting, immediately it will come and stay in your storage. And if you choose no, and if you click on OK, no media will be downloaded into your phone memory. No media will be downloaded into your phone memory, but the media will be there in the WhatsApp group. Whenever you want, you can go there and access. But if you want to download, you can download. But if you choose no, no media, by default, no media will be downloaded into your phone memory, so that you can safeguard your phone memory, you can safeguard your device. And if by chance, if it is having anything, then from there also you can safeguard your device. Okay, if it is any malware kind of thing. Okay, and if you keep your contacts only, groups or contacts are there, no, only my contacts, then you might not be receiving these kind of things. You might not be receiving these kind of messages. If at all, if you are not kept control, okay, if you are not kept that only my contacts, you will be receiving these messages. Once you are receiving these messages, sometimes it may they may ask some kind of information. If at all, if you are providing, we will be in deep trouble. If at all, if you are not providing, and if it is having any malware or antivirus, a malware or trojans kind of thing, that also creates some kind of issue. Okay, I think someone is asking, please go to any group, sir, and click on the group info. Once you click on the group info, you will be getting these options: mute notifications, custom notifications, media visibility. You can just explore those things later. Okay, click on the media visibility. Then you will be getting these three things: default yes, yes, no. Okay, if you by default it is yes. So whatever the media you are getting, either in individual or in a group, so the media will come and will be stored in your phone memory. And if you choose no, and if you click on OK, if you choose no, and if you click on OK, no media will be downloaded into your phone memory. No media will be downloaded into your phone memory. Is it clear, sir? Is it clear? All right, sir. Okay. Narendra Singh, sir. Narendra Singh, sir. Is it clear? Yeah. Good. Thank you. And if at all, if you keep yourself for these things, keep your settings only my contacts, you won't be receiving these kind of things also, these messages also. So that as a whole, you can safeguard your WhatsApp messenger from all these kind of threats. Okay, so this way you can follow. So these are the some WhatsApp behavioral tips and all these things which you can follow. Okay, whenever you are using the social media platforms, we always keep some kind of photographs and all the things in the social media platforms. So this is a website like tonight.com. This website, if you upload any of your images, like you might be uploaded some images in your in any of your social media platforms, take one image and upload into this tonight.com and check like whether any of your photos are used by any other people other than you. All right, if any other than you, if any other people are using, then it will display like who are all using your photographs kind of thing, who are all using your photographs kind of thing. So this way you can protect. Use tonight.com, upload your photograph and see like any other people are using. If at all their people, those any of the other people are using, you should ask them to remove that photograph, ask them to remove the photographs, or you can give a complaint if at all, if you are they're misusing your photograph. Okay, so by using this tool, you can find out that kind of information. Okay, there is another website called pic2map.com. There is another website called pic2map.com. In this website, if you upload your photograph, whole lot of information you will be getting. You can just see like what device you have used, what is the file information, what is the date and time, what is the GPS information, location information, etc. Entire address is also there. Okay, where you have clicked that photograph. Okay, so when we all know one picture gives more than 1,000 words of information. In the similar way, in the digital world also nowadays, if at all, if you have taken some picture in some location and you kept it in your social media platforms, and immediately if someone is observing or someone is collating some of your data, so they will see that they will if at all, if they are in a contact with you, they will collect this photograph, and they may say easily, okay, you went that time, no, to that location and all the things. to build the trust, okay. So these, by using this website, you can find out this whole lot of information. So what I mean to say, by after saying all these things, so you have to be very careful in the social media platforms whenever you are uploading any of the pictures, any of the pictures in the social media platforms. You have to tell them very clearly, you have to upload only the group photographs rather than individual photographs. You have to upload only group photos rather than individual photographs. Okay, then at least you can safeguard. And especially all the women and young girls should be careful. Try to upload less amount of information, and try to upload only low resolution images. Okay, first tip is, never ever upload your single images. Try to upload group images. And second thing is, try to upload low resolution images. See, for example, this picture, which is around 13 megapixel. Okay, but if you're uploading these 13 megapixel images in any social media platforms, people can collect the whole lot of information, and they will try to build some kind of profile by using all these things, pattern. They'll try to create a pattern by using whole lot of information. So try to upload low resolution images rather than the high resolution images. That is the second. Third, try to keep as low as the information in any of the social media platforms, so that you can safeguard yourself. And like, what are the privacy and security settings which I have shown? In a similar way, you can do the privacy and security options in those platforms also, so that you can protect yourself, and you can protect whole lot of information which belongs to you from these kind of frauds. Okay, hope it is clear. And any of you are using these Facebook? Do you want me to discuss this Facebook privacy and security options also? Do you want me to discuss the Facebook things also? All right. Okay, sir. Fine. No issues. Thank you for your response. And so I already opened my Facebook account of my project. Okay. So this is the Facebook account of mine, and you just click on that drop arrow. Once you click on the drop arrow, okay, you will be getting settings and privacy. Okay, you just see, observe, later you can do it, sir. Okay, click on the settings and privacy. Once you click on the settings and privacy, you can just see settings. Under the settings, you have general information. So for example, this is my ID of this Facebook account. Since it is a public thing, we just opening it. And security and login. Second option is security and login. So it will tell you like where you have logged in, which PC you are using, which location you are logged in, and what was their IP address. So it will give you a whole lot of information. In the one of the slide I shown it to you, like what kind of information they will collect. And use two-factor authentication. There I have shown security. In the WhatsApp, I have shown the security option, like how to enable the two-factor authentication, right? In the same way, in the Facebook also you have a two-factor authentication. Try to enable this two-factor authentication. Try to enable this two-factor authentication on your Facebook page. I'm not showing, but you can do it. And third thing is like your Facebook information. Like whole lot of information is there. So here, one aspect which I want to discuss is off Facebook activity. So what do you mean by this off Facebook activity? So once this Facebook is there on any of your mobile devices, and if you're logged in and you are doing your activities, so what these people do is, they will be getting all your browsing history, and if sometimes some of the critical information also goes out of your hand, right? So this thing says like these are the websites you have visited in recent times. Okay, so these are the websites you have visited on this particular system when your Facebook is on. Okay, and if at all, if you are not logging out and if the Facebook is on, so some of this information is captured by these platform where they will show it to you. But at the same time, they're giving this option here. And if you want to clear your history, you can clear your history and manage your Facebook activity. And if you want to enable, you can enable. If you want to disable, you can disable. Okay, option is given, and at the same time, they have given the security option also. Don't forget that they also given the security options, wherein you can choose whether you want to enable or disable. So as per your choice, you can do that. Otherwise, like whatever the searching you are doing and some kind of information, it goes out of your hand. Okay, so this is our Facebook activity. Okay, under the your Facebook information, like you have activity log and your Facebook information, you can just see these are all windows kind of thing only. You can just click and you can see that information. And my important point is privacy. The moment you click on the privacy, there are so many options. Okay, so importantly, who can see your posts? So everyone can see your posts, but there are a few things which has to be taken care. Who can send a friend request? Everyone can send a friend request, right? But it is up to you whether you want to accept or not. But who can see your friend list? Here like you have n number of options. If you click on, like, if you want to keep it public, public can see your friend list. If it is a friends, only friends can see, friends accept, specific friends only me, custom. So this many number of options are there. So if one of you are having some 200 300 number of friends on your Facebook page, okay, will you open this friend list, or which option will you choose? Which option will you choose out of these many options? Public, friends, only me, or custom? Which option will you choose? Can you please mention? Only me. Very good. Pratul Bepari, like you mentioned, like only me. Any others? Only me. Very good. Okay. Yeah. So our suggestion is kept it only me. Why should I open my friend list? If at all, if you send a friend request, I will see like who are you, and based on that, like I will accept or reject that. But if you keep your friend list only to me, it is always the best suggestion. And who can see your mobile number and email ID which you have provided there. Okay, which you have provided their email ID and mobile number. So there also you have options to whom you wanted to open it up. Okay, who can say email address. There also everyone, friends of friends, friends only me. So if you ask, I'll just keep only me. So why should I share my email ID with any other people? If at all, if they want, they can they can contact. If at all, if they are known to me, they might be having my email address and mobile number. They need not to worry, or they can send, and I'll see like if it is reliable and if it is authenticated, then I will accept them and I will give the permission kind of thing. Okay, so these are the Facebook. So one is the security settings we discussed. One is that two-factor authentication. Second thing, the Facebook off Facebook activity. Third thing, like the location access and that information. And we are also discussed about the privacy. And if you have two-factor authentication, and if you switch off all these, if you disable all these options like friend list, mobile number, email ID kind of thing, you can safeguard your Facebook, your social media account safely. Okay, 99% it is safe if you have a two-factor authentication, and if you have keep all these things only me, or some extent, or accept some people kind of thing. Okay, if you follow these things, you can arams safeguard your Facebook as well as Facebook account. Okay, is it clear? There are so many other options. You can just check it when the time permits. I just shown some important aspects here: the security and Facebook activity and privacy options. Is it clear? Is it clear? All right. Let me move. Let me move on to the presentation. Okay, so these are the things which I told you in live. Use two-factor authentication and this information, and keep only me or kind of thing. Okay, if keep only me in the privacy settings. Okay, in spite of these things, by any chance, if your Facebook account is hacked, if any of your friends or any of your known people Facebook account is hacked, so use this command facebook.com/hacked. Okay, if the moment you say like this, they will be asking some information. If you are able to provide that information, at least they will try to help you out. Okay, and if you want to report instead of hacked, if you want to report, use report. Okay, instead of hacked, that word, use report, so that you can report it to those people. At least they will try to help you, they will try to recover, or they will try to block the account, which was fake account, which was got created by the other people, kind of thing. Okay, so this way, if by any chance, if something is, if some thing is happened, then you should, if it is hacked, then you can report it like this. If it is report, if you want to report, you can report it accordingly. Okay, so these are the things with respect to the social networking platforms, kind of thing. Okay, so these are the some things. Okay, so now we don't have much time to discuss on those aspects. Now let's spend some 5-10 minutes on these financial things. Is it a genuine ATM machine? Is it a genuine ATM machine? Yes or no? Is it a genuine ATM machine? Yes or no? Please say in the chat area. No. Very good. Any other? Okay, Basu sir said like it is yes. Seems no. Okay. No. Okay. Okay. Any yes? Why sir no? Why it is no? Okay. The no is because of this. Okay. So the top ATM machine is genuine ATM machine, legitimate ATM machine. The bottom one is a skimmer. Both ATM machines are same. In that particular, where you got that light, or while inserting the card, you will be getting that blinking. So there they have arranged a skimmer. So what this skimmer will do? So skimmer will collect, on the right side you can just see it is a small hardware device where it collects all whole lot of information. So this diagram you can just see, it is very very sophisticated skimmer which they have arranged. Initially that was like that, and skimmer they have attached, and in the skimmer they are collecting all your card details, as well as they are also recording your pin number. They're also recording, they're capturing your pin, like what are the ATM pin they are doing. So once this information is available, they will create a duplicate or a cloned card, and they will start misusing that card. Okay, so through this skimmer, all the electrical information it goes, like what are the information is there on your card. So through that electromagnetic tape, that entire information is goes out of goes into that skimmer, that into that machine, and the pin also they're capturing, and they're try to build, try to make a duplicate card or cloned card, and they will start misusing that card, for various purposes. You can just see it is almost like, it's almost looks like a ATM machine, but in the skimmer they have attached, and they'll try to collect those things. So whenever you are entering the pin, you have to ensure that, like, enter the pin code in a safe manner. And second thing, whenever you are accessing that ATM machines, kind of thing, ensure that check once in a while whether is there any such kind of things, whether the light is blinking or not, keyboard is there or not. If the security guard is there, it's well and good. If the security guard is not there, then you should, sometimes, like, not within the city, outskirts of the city, in remote locations. So these kind of things these kind of things may happen. Okay, so that way, like, you can safeguard these things. And another thing, like morning also it was discussed with all of you, and which was shown it to you very clearly. And whenever you are doing any financial transactions, or wherever you are giving your username and password, ensure that the lock symbol should be there, https is there, https should be there. Whenever you are clicking on the lock symbol, you will come to know this digital certificate. This is called a digital certificate. So what I mean by this digital certificate, what, before you host your website in a public domain, someone has to verify whether your website is perfectly working or not, and if there are any vulnerabilities. Morning we were discussing, vulnerabilities, threats, and risks, and all such kind of things. And if the website have any problems, of any gaps, okay, those people will identify and will intimate you, and you have to fix those gaps. Then they will be giving this kind of certification. So once you got this certification, that means someone has verified, and no, they have not identified any gaps at that, at least at that point of time, and they will give you this kind of certification. Once that certification is there, there will be some kind of assurance, some kind of assurance. But 100% there is no assurance, but some kind of assurance will be there. So whenever you are providing your username and password, you have to ensure that so these three things should be there. Okay. Whenever you have found these three things, at least you can provide your username and password and you can do the transaction. So if it is HTTPS is there, it is a clear text. If it is HTTPS, the clear text will be encrypted, and that the data will be transmitted in a secured manner. Okay. So this is the thing which you have to verify whenever you are doing any financial transactions. And if you got this kind of message in recent times, if at all if you are having any of the SBI account, definitely you might have been received this kind of thing. If at all if you are having an SBI account only, okay, if you are having an SBI account, you will be receiving this kind of messages. Okay, and you can just see the sender ID. The sender, someone is sending the sender ID, and if at all if you are clicking it, and if you are clicking that, and it almost looks like a SBI website. You can just see if it is clicked on that particular link, and it is almost looks like SBI website. There they're asking your username and password, and you will be getting the OTP. Once you enter that OTP, and you will be getting the last screen. Please wait. Don't press the back refresh button. So if that kind of transaction will happen, in the meantime they will deduct whole lot of money. Okay, which has happened to one of my friend, where he shared screens and we have shared. It is not so old. It is, see, you can just see like it, which is happening from last 6 to 8 months. July it was happened 2021. So that way like he lost money, and that money was got detected, and it goes out of your hand. So once if you give a complaint also, what they will say, they can't say, because like you are providing your username, provide OTP and all such kind of things, and the money is got deducted. In that case, like what bank will do? Bank also can't help you out, because it is a mistake is from the customer end, where he has provided username, where he's provided password, he's provided his OTP. In the same case, it has happened to one of the retired officer in Bhopal. So he provided his username and password, immediately got a OTP, he gave the OTP, he told the OTP, and immediately they changed the mobile number. Immediately the fraudster had changed the mobile number. So from that day onwards, he was not getting any messages. Later he wanted to do something, he is not able to do any transaction. Then he approached the bank. Then they said like, your account was debited with 11 lakh rupees. Okay, so then he came to know something has happened. Something has happened to his account. Then he went to the police station and all the things. But if the money is lost from the account, and if it is gone to some other accounts kind of thing, it is very difficult to get the money. You may chances slim chances are there, but mostly getting the money back is most of the times it is very very difficult. So prevention is better than cure. Okay, so most of the people might be using this credit card, debit card details kind of thing. So whenever we are doing any e-commerce websites, or any taxi booking apps, or any other apps, wherever you have provided credit card, debit card details, or in a website, or in a credit card, debit card, or wherever it is, okay, any mobile applications kind of thing, any application I'm talking about, I'm not talking about any particular application, I'm talking about to all the application, wherever you have provided your credit card details kind of thing. Okay, once you enter the details, after the completion of the transaction, try to remove that. After the completion of the transaction, try to remove the payment method. Try to remove the payment method from that application or a website. So whenever you are doing a transaction, enter the details, complete the transaction. Once the transaction is over, remove that transaction. Otherwise, what happens? So we are all common people. We are very common people, like where we will be using the same mobile phone for all purposes. For your personal purposes, you and me personal purposes, official purposes, online transactions, or attending online classes, for online games kind of thing. The moment you go back to home, and we will keeping mobile phone somewhere, and either your brother, sister, or our children, children, they start using that mobile phone. By any chance, if they're downloading some games and they're playing some kind of games, in the first 2 to 3 levels there won't be any charges. After the fourth level, they may ask you to pay some XYZ amount of money. Okay, you will be getting a notification when you are in a game, game mode. You wanted to go to the next level, so that was your goal, or that was your assumption to that was your goal to move to the next level. So during that time you will get a notification, immediately you will click yes, and immediately they will direct the money. Immediately they will direct the money, and you will be surprised to know how come they will direct the money. I have not provided my CVV, I have not provided my expiry, I have not provided the OTP. Okay, but the money will be deducted. For all international transactions, they don't want your CVV, expiry and OTP kind of thing. Just they want your card number. If the card number is there, we can complete that, international transaction. If it is a domestic transaction, they may require all your CVV, expiry, card expiry and OTP and all such kind of things. But if it is an international transaction, they may not require any of your OTP kind of thing. Okay, so that way, that is only the reason that is only the reason, like we are suggesting to drop all your card details, from your any of the e-commerce platform. And if at all, if you want to keep that card, and if it is having very low amount of limit, for example 10 lakh, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, if you lost that money also, you can bear. If you have that bearable capacity, you can keep it. And if that capacity is beyond that, then try to not disclose that card in any of the mobile, any of the online websites or any of the mobile applications. If at all you are providing, after the transaction, try to remove that payment method. Okay, so that's the suggestion. Otherwise, like whatever you are getting, that OTPs, reset codes and all that things, along with that application, other application also will listen. Other application also can view your messages. Okay, so that's only the reason, like we are suggesting, try to remove this payment method from any of the e-commerce platforms kind of thing. Okay, and if you are able to do that, you can arams protect your thing. By in spite of that, like if something goes wrong, immediately, if it is a credit card kind of thing, you have to report within 48 hours to your source bank as well as cybercrime.gov.in, and you can report it in nearest police station. And if it is ATM and if it is online banking kind of thing, within 24 hours you have to give a complaint, so that if there is a possibility, they will retrieve your money. Otherwise, 98% as on today, like chances are very slim. Chances are very slim. But if it is a credit card, if it is less than 48 hours time, chances are very high you will get your money back. Okay, and if it is a debit card or a online banking kind of thing, the chances are very slim, and you have to report well in time, so that at least if there are any chances, they may try to get your money back. Okay, so these are the things which you have to take care while you are using any of your credit card, debit card details on any of the platforms, so that you can safeguard your card details and all such kind of information. Okay, hope it is clear. Hope it is clear to all of you. I think there are some questions. Let me answer those queries before we move on. Sir, whether we need to enable the media visibility option for each group separately? Yes, you have to do it. The media visibility, no, for all groups, sir. Individually, you have to do it. And is it safe to send documents via WhatsApp to someone whom we know? Yeah, you can send it. Like, if you have password protection, you can send it. It is not completely encrypted messages. Like whenever you are sending these kind of things, messages are encrypted, but remaining things are not encrypted. But as if it is a sensitive information, you should think. Okay, if there are any questions, kindly keep it in the chat area. Why this happen only with the SBI? Sir, actually SBI is a very largest bank in India, and it has the maximum number of customers. And there are some people who do that. Like SBI is also taking all security measures. In spite of that, like if at all if you are providing, so anyone can send. Just madam has sent a message on your behalf to someone else. So in a similar way, people try to do that error and trial method. By any chance, if someone has fallen into the trap, so that kind of chances will happen. Okay, so they are also having very strong network, but in spite of that, like it is not the problem with the bank side, it is a problem from the end user side. It is a problem from the end user side. So it is our responsibility to check whether the messages came from SBI or some XYZ. And if it is clearly, if it is in SBI, you will be seeing the sender ID as SBI. If it is came from a mobile number, and if at all, if you are responding to such kind of things, how bank will be responsible? Okay, so it is our responsibility as an end user. You should have that kind of awareness education. Then you won't respond. If at all, if you're not aware, if at all, if you are responded, I'm just telling, in my one of my friend's case, it was happened. So what is done? He is, we don't know like whether it is good luck or bad luck. So he's deposited around 5 lakh rupees into the bank, and immediately transferred 2 lakh rupees to another account, and immediately got a message stating that like, you please update your KYC. If at all, if you are not updating your KYC, your account will be blocked. He's a businessman. Immediately he clicked on the link, and he started entering his username, password. He got a call, and he entered the OTP. He gave the OTP, and they deducted the money. Okay, so whichever the case you are in, so like it is our responsibility to see whether it is came from an SBI or from some XYZ things. If you are able to take care, then it is well and good. Otherwise, these kind of things will happen. Okay, in other case, like he is a pilot. Okay, he is trying to change his password. We don't know like how they got his mobile number, and he got a call immediately. Sir, we are calling from this bank, XYZ bank, and you are it seems you are trying to change your bank account, password, bank account password. We are sending one link. You can just click on that link and try to change your password. Then he's entered his username, password, OTP, everything, and all these things those people are able to see, and immediately they have withdrawn the money, and to the 2 lakhs they have withdrawn the money, and immediately this person has called that number. Oh, sorry sir, mistakenly it was happened. Once again you will be sent one OTP. You enter that OTP. He entered that OTP, another 2 lakhs. Okay, again like he called, and finally like within 4 transactions they have deducted more than 10.39 lakhs, and later like that mobile was switched off, and he is not able to do anything. So that I know we have to see like whether from where it has come, why it has come, and bank never will call you. Bank never will ask any of these details kind of thing. If at all anything is there, like whenever you are visiting and they will be sending a mail kind of thing, then you have to respond accordingly. Okay, so that way you can safeguard things, sir. As such, nothing is there. So please tell the third one check details. Third one check details. Okay. How to stop the international transactions? Very good. So in the recent times, RBI has came out with these options. So like what RBI has done, so RBI has introduced these stopping of these domestic transactions and the international transactions. Earlier on credit card and debit card international transactions by default enabled, but nowadays by default it is disabled. As per the RBI guidelines, all the banks are disabled it. Okay, first thing it won't be enabled. Second thing, you can log on to your bank account. There you can go to the settings, and there you can go and card controls. There is something called controls. Controls, limits. Some of the banks are using limits. Some of the banks are using card controls and all such kind of things. You can go there and try to whatever. If you want to disable those options, disable. If you want to enable those options, enable. If at all, if you are enabling also, if it is an online transaction, what is the limit? And if it is a POS transaction, what is the limit? And if it is a NFC transaction, what is the limit? And if it is a ATM withdrawal, what is the limit? So all those things you want to keep, all those things you can enable, disable those options. If you want to enable, you can enable. If at all, if you are enable, you can set your limits. If you want to disable, you can disable those options. So all these options are provided by the banks. Almost all the banks are providing these options. Please go there, enable all these all those controls and limits, and also keep your two-factor authentication. Whenever you are giving your username and password, ensure that you should get your OTP or some kind of thumb impression. So once if it is there and you can give that, then only the account will be opened. If you keep a two-factor authentication, and if you have set all these things, you can minimize these things. Okay, you can minimize these things, sir. Just show how to got one fake message. Just to sir, just to know, I got one fake message. Sir, if it is fake message, then you should remove it, sir. Without yes means it is HTTPS, HTTP only. Then you should not provide any of your details, Narendra Singh, sir. What about S means? S means it is a very secure connection.